Good morning, good morning, good morning. What it do? I am Didi Love. How are you today? How are you today? All right, y'all. I slept good last night. Trying to, it takes a lot for me to decompress from anger. I recognize a long time ago that I have anger issues. I rage. It takes me a minute to calm the hell down. Even when I'm looking calm, like it's all good, it don't take but a word or something to trigger my ass and I'll be back angry again. Okay. So, yes. I was thinking about the incident that happened with me and the people. And I said, isn't it interesting that someone would call me about disrespecting their mother when their mother has disrespected a child? People never accept accountability for their own actions. It's always someone else's fault. I was also offended that her daughter called me because your daughter is a daughter. She's a child to me. She's not on my level by no shape, form, or fashion. Never that. And I have a daughter as well. And when I saw that other bitch, my daughter was with me. And my daughter kindly stepped to the side and didn't open her fucking mouth because that's how I raised her. She doesn't need to be disrespecting no grown people or speaking to no grown people on my behalf. Matter of fact, if somebody my age getting fucked up with my daughter, she will call me or one of my cousins. Okay? No, that's not what we do. So, people don't know their place. That's why I said just the level of disrespect, no home training, you know, ignorant bitches. Hmm. And the lies that people tell. Like I said, they had that girl call me and didn't even tell her the truth. Didn't tell her what happened. She didn't know what she was calling about. And she's like, oh, do you think you're going to harass them each and every time you see them? No, bitch. But what I do know is that I was going to check a bitch when I saw them. See, I don't take kindly to disrespect. Just because I ain't say shit don't mean that I'm not ever going to see you. I told you. I'll wait. I don't have no problem with that. I will wait. Uh-huh. There was this lady once I used to go out back in the day. I used to go out, right? And there was this chick always used to stare at me and give me dirty looks and shit when I was out. But she would be with her peoples. So one day I saw that bitch at the grocery store and I asked her, I was like, yo, you got a problem with me? What? Do you have a problem with me? Right. See, I'm not that person. Like, I don't fuck with you. I don't want you fucking with me. Right? And if you are, then we need to get to the bottom of it. I mean, that's just what it is. But that shit really had me on a level 27, y'all. I had to go to bed last night. I just got up. I'm tired. Stress and arguing exhaust the fuck out of me. I guess because I go to 0 to 1,000 real fucking quick. So it takes all the energy I have. When I tell you I was tired, tired, tired. Now, I should hope that no one else in the family decides that they got anything to say to me. Because I'm not for it. I'm not here for it. I'm not. Check your peoples. Check your peoples. Tell them to stay the fuck away from my peoples. Period. Check their actions and their behaviors. But there's a level of people in the world who have no concept of what they do. Period. They just don't get it. They're low lives for a reason. So know your worth and stay the hell away from them. All right. Now, I wasn't really around because I was sleeping, but I did catch a few things when I was at work yesterday on the YouTube streets, right? So there was an elderly lady on here, and she said she was talking about sex and how older ladies have better sex and blah, blah, blah. And people were offended by what she was saying. And they said that, older ladies need to have more class. Um, Let me tell you something. It might not have been the right place where she said it, but those conversations needs to be had. Let's keep it real, because a woman of my age at 48, I pray to God and I want to live to be 79, 80. All right. So I do want to know some facts about the woman's body at that age from some human black women, humans who are alive. Right. There is a time and a place for that discussion, and you elderly ladies might want to come together and panel that. Right. Let's have a real discussion around here about things that could actually benefit and educate people. Because yes, see, what the problem is that these older people are always dealing with these really young people, right? So these people at like 28, they're calling these old people old, and oh, you 69, you old, or you 50, you old. You're blessed to be that age. A lot of people don't make it. So to be that old and to be that age and to be that healthy, blessings, peace, blessing, and kudos to you. That's why when I see some of the old people in bullshit, I'm like, what are y'all doing? God bless you to be here that long. You got better shit to do. Trust me. But they don't really go too hard. So I'm not knocking my sisters on that. My older ladies for that. My big sisters for that. But again, that's a discussion that could be had because young people today, they can't even imagine being 50, 47. Really? Look at what's going on around them. They don't think of tomorrow because you can tell how they're living today. That's how you can tell who's thinking of the future. People who are really thinking about their future and really concerned about the well-being, they live different presently. They do things to make happiness manifest later on down the line. Like, you will save money for your future if you think you're going to be here. But anybody who blows every dollar that they have, they're living for the moment, for today. So they don't care about next week, next year, 2 hours from now. They have no concept of that. But if you're responsible, you know better. You prepare for the future. So as an older person and as elders, there are many things that you guys could be telling us, real shit. You could be telling us about our bodies, about sex, about money, about memory loss. There are many things you could talk about, honestly, but in a different setting, with the right people on the right, set up the right platform. Like I said, it's a discussion that's definitely valid. Absolutely. In my opinion, totally valid. Because there's a lot of people don't know. Real shit. They can talk about the panani, the pussy in derogatory ways. So why can't someone speak a fact about it? I think they spend too much time throwing the pee around. They always talking about it smelly, all kind of stuff they say about each other's bed JJs. Is that a representation of your JJ? I don't know. Dick stank too. Why y'all don't ever call nobody a stank dick? Whatever, I'm just saying. It's always your pussy, your pussy, your pussy, your pussy. Obsessed with it. And there's one lady who get on here. And y'all talking about the older ladies. There's another heifer on here y'all need to check. Because she all get on here and be describing and saying it all seductively and all sexually and out of pocket. Real shit. Like, you got a son too, whore. What if he logs on and listens to this shit? He ain't 11 yet. He don't want to hear that. Don't think your kids don't watch your YouTube channels. They pretty much catch a video here and there. You really need to be more conscientious about what the fuck you're saying. You may not want to say that if you can't stand by it, But it's a lack of class. Like when I was coming up, you didn't just say those words everywhere in front of everybody. I mean, me today, y'all would be surprised to know I don't curse everywhere. That's why sometimes I get on here and I let it rip. Like if I had to go all day with no curse words, because y'all know that's one of my outlets. That's why I curse. But I don't curse everywhere I go. I don't curse in public. I'm not at the mall cursing, the grocery store cursing, the parking lot just cursing, walking around stores oblivious to who's around me, just cursing out loud. No, not necessary. Are you kidding me? You got to maintain some level of respect and have some goddamn morals. I'm telling you, it trickles down throughout your family and to your children. You have to be very, very careful what you're saying and what you're doing and where you're doing it at. All right, there was another situation I saw on here yesterday with Lady NYCA and Lady Detroit. So they're friends in real life, and then they became YouTube friends, and apparently there's some kind of kerfuffle going on, I don't know, in the background or whatever, or amongst other content creators. Anyway, at first I was like, well, Lady NYCA is kind of, Lady NYCA's like, listen, these are my YouTube peoples, and like there's a separation. By the end of it, I had to log off because this shit started driving me nuts. But this is why they say you don't mix business and personal. Never do it. Never, never, never. Now, what I do want to say is Lady NYCA has the motherfucking patience of a saint. And by the time I just couldn't take any goddamn more, I had hung up. But I was like, damn, I see because she was working through it. She wasn't really saying anything. She's intaking this shit. Because again, y'all know I go 0 to 1,000 real quick. I would have told her I'm going to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And I think, like I told y'all, my relationships, that's why I don't really have people that close to me because my patience won't allow it. Simone, if you should see this video, honey, you need to pause. When people are speaking to you, you need to pause. people was talking to her, and like somebody got on and they was trying to say something to Lady. She just cut them right off and just you don't have to always be the center of attention. It's not always about you. Sometimes you just have to really, well, now, being since you're an adult who does this, because children do it too. This is why I always tell people, teach your children to shut the fuck up. Children do not always need to be talking. Everything you're thinking does not need to be said. And I mean that shit from the bottom of my heart. Tell your kids to shut the fuck up. Like if your kids shut it down. Your kid in the car the whole time, shut it down. Somebody's talking to you, and all of a sudden, suddenly your kid want to start talking over talk. Shut that shit down, because they become adults who do this. And Simone, you just need to be quiet. You just really need to start being quiet. A lot of y'all spend all these times on panels just because y'all want to. And the reality is, you just need to be quiet. How does mess keep going amongst people? I'm not talking about Simone and them. I'm just saying in general. How does mess keep going? Because people keep talking. It's consistent. You got to shut the fuck up. You just got to make it a point to shut the fuck up. I mean, I sit quietly all the time. Just shut the fuck up and listen. You can't learn if you're not listening. My son, I have to get on him about that. So just shut your mouth right now. Stop talking. How can you hear what I'm saying if you're talking while I'm talking? If you're talking while I'm talking, you don't hear anything I'm saying. You don't care anything about what I'm saying. You're disregarding what I'm saying. You're already, and a lot of times I find that people who do that, they think they're mind readers. They think they know what you're going to say before you say it. I could call my son right now. He'd probably be like, I'll bring you, all right, I'll get whatever. Because he'll assume that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Instead of listening. Because you don't care what other people are saying. You don't care. It's a bad habit. It's a bad trait. But it's a fixable characteristic. Okay? All you have to do is subconsciously stop talking. You have to acknowledge that you talk too goddamn much. Right. You have to acknowledge that and accept that. And then you have to shut it down. It's not that hard. What they say, if you do anything for 19 days, it becomes a habit. So practice just being quiet. Every time somebody drop a link, don't jump on. Do not jump on. If you care about your friendship with Lady NYCA, like you said, don't jump on. Don't jump on every panel. Don't get in every argument. Don't always have a comment. Don't always need to be the center of attention. Don't do it. But I just think for your own personal being, as a grown-up and as an adult, it's just time to shut the fuck up. And it ain't nothing personal. There are plenty of people who need to shut the fuck up sometimes. I mean, don't you get tired of talking? You don't get tired of talking and hearing yourself? I can talk too at times. But that's when I'm trying to piss somebody off and get my motherfucking point across and keep my foot on their goddamn neck. I won't let up, trust. And it's annoying. But sometimes I even get tired and be like, bitch, I'm tired of talking my damn self. I'm over it. Either you get it or you don't. But it can't be consistent. It can't be all the time. And it's just not cool. Because what I saw yesterday, because I don't know, mind y'all, I'm not in everybody's chat. I don't know who's doing what with everybody. It's a few people I catch here and there. So whatever they talking about and whatever beef they got going on, all right, cool. I watched Lady NYCA, so I was at work yesterday and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? It was just really strange. Because I was just like, feelings are not being respected. That's what I took it. Like, feelings are not being respected. You're determined that you're going to be right. Because my thing was, instead of keep saying that we talk about things behind the scenes and da-da-da, just hang up. I would have hung up. I would just really be like, you know what? I'm going to call you later. Fuck it. I'll talk to you later. And leave it there. And I didn't know the lady don't have a channel because I sure was going to go over there and I wanted to leave her a comment, girlfriend, this needs to stop. A lot of y'all are, but see, and another thing that I noticed too, if you 40 something years old, right? 50, even if you got grown kids, I don't give a fuck if you 37 with grown ass kids, right? There's certain shit and certain people you just shouldn't be hanging around with. Like, if I'm hanging around with somebody in their 20s, is not on that level. I love them down, but I look at them as a kid of mine, not not like a equal, or and if I do look at them as an equal, there's just a way I rock with them. You should be leading as an example when you're older than the women. You know what I'm saying? Not co-signing bullshit, not agreeing with nonsense, not seeing the light. As a grown woman, why do you have time to be arguing with people consistently and on different platforms, and this person don't like me, I don't like this person? Again, you don't know your own worth. And it's nothing against the other people, but as an individual, you have to know your worth. When you know your worth, there's certain shit you just not gonna do. Even if you did it last week, you're just not gonna do it. It's just like being on drugs for 45 years, right? Let's say you've been on drugs 20 years. You was doing things that were not who you normally are because you outside your character. This shit got a hold of me mentally. But as soon as you get off drugs and you find yourself and you start to discover your worth, you don't do those things anymore. It's just you got to know who you are. And people don't. People don't know their worth. People argue and carry on and say shit and do things not realizing that those things affect you. It's a reflection on you. Never mind, you think you keep keying and you're hurting the other person. You might be, but in the same process, you're hurting yourself because people are looking at you. People with common sense or anything about themselves are saying, damn, what's wrong with this bitch? Is she retarded? Is he crazy? Why are you saying that? You know, and everything is about cussing people out. We got to cuss people out. We got to cuss people out. Why are we so angry? You got to cuss people out every single day. Some of y'all should keep a calendar of how many times a week y'all cussing a bitch out. And the other thing, before I go, I just wanted to say this. YouTube itself reminds me of crack, because people don't have nowhere to live. People neglecting their children. People selling their ass for YouTube. There are no boundaries. Anything goes. It's just the same as crack. Crack dropped, what was it? 86, 84. And it just turned people who had morals and values and common sense and jobs. People were skilled electricians and, executive secretaries and all kind of shit. And they went from that to being crackheads. So a lot of these motherfuckers around here are YouTube heads. Will do anything. Sell their ass. Sell their kids' ass. Pimp their children out. That's all crack behavior. YouTube is the new crack. Beware. Get help. Don't let it take over your life and fucking destroy you, because it will. Anger is dangerous. I'm telling y'all, anger is dangerous. I try to avoid it. Like I told y'all, it takes a lot for me to decompress from fucking anger. But I see some people on here that are angry every day, cuss people out every single day. How is that a happy life? I mean, even just listening to it, I told y'all, yesterday I was listening, but it's only so much I could listen to. And then I'm just like, I gotta go. Because it's draining. And I was like, damn, aren't you drained? The people who are going through it and all that yelling over each other and carrying on, aren't you drained? Why aren't you drained? Why don't you have anything better to do? You got to start asking yourself some questions around here. Like, why am I engaging in bullshit 24 hours a day, every day? There has to be more to life. It just does. Like, were you abused in previous relationships and this is why you come for the abuse? Are you abusive and that's why you come here to abuse others? There has to be something. There's some reason beyond money, because a lot of y'all ain't making that much money. The views are not that high. I heard that you got to put in a lot of hours to get a good check. So I'm just wondering, like, you're broken people on the inside. Y'all know what, too? Last week, I went down to Pettyville's, right? Pettyville had church the other day over there. And she said a lot of things about this person in particular. However, it applies to so many across the board. Like, yeah, a lot of y'all lack God, spirituality, and guidance in your life. And it's very important to have that. You will... I was talking with this therapist the other day and we had to do this questionnaire thing. And she said to me, are you under a lot of stress? And if so, how do you feel on a level of 1 to 6? And I was like, yes, I have a level 17 of stress. But thank God I don't feel it like that. Like, I can work through it. It's not weighing me down. I'm not sad. I'm not crying consistently. I might cry maybe once every 4 months or something. It's not like that. And I don't cry for long, and I don't call other people looking for sympathy. But, stress is real. I don't ever want to cause that in anyone else's life, and I don't want them to cause it in mine. So I'm very mindful of people who don't mind being hateful and angry and arguing all the time and yelling and crying. It's a demon. Let me tell you, I know this girl. I'm going to just leave y'all with this. So there was this lady I know. She used to go to church all the time. And y'all know how people get the Spirit and the Holy Ghost. And this lady used to be crying and screaming and carrying on all the time. The people in the church was like, that's a devil. That's a demon. It's a demon. It's a demon. Because it was like disruptive, and it was just like the crying, the wailing. It was like, it was disruptive, but it was giving out that bad energy. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. There are demons that dwell amongst of us. There is evil. Negativity does destroy you. Things will bring you down. If you are crying and upset all the time, and there are many people who are like that, many, trust me. Why? Why? Self-inflicted, somebody else doing it to you, whatever the reason is, you need to make a change. Real shit. All right, I'll be back. I got reviews to do today. I just wanted to get up and say that real quick because I was like, damn, people really act like they're never going to get old. That's sad that y'all motherfuckers can't see beyond 25. You will, God willing, hopefully. Don't you want to live to be 65, 72, 89, 100? Hello. And healthy now. Nobody want to be posted up in a corner and shit, held up by a stick. But I'm just saying, Have a good day. Deuces.